So right now till January 22nd, there is a special partner sale on Native Instruments website with UVI. And this one's actually kind of a surprising one because I don't think that they've done a sale and partnered with UVI before, but UVI has a product that's quite a lot like Contact, and in some ways I think it's even better than Contact. So UVI has their UVI workstation that's a lot like Contact, and they also have the Falcon 3 hybrid instrument is what I think they call it. So Falcon 3 is a really cool hybrid instrument, and I found out about it recently because it showed up through my YouTube feed, and it was actually on the announcement day of Falcon 3. It was the What's New video, and it caught my interest because of this thing called scripts. And scripts are essentially these little modular pieces of code that you can put in front of your presets and sounds and generate ideas on the spot. So it's much easier to just see what I'm talking about and listen to what it can do to your sounds. So here's a couple of the scripts that were in the most recent release of Falcon 3. So those are a couple of the scripts as Motion Grid and Snowflakes, but these scripts can be placed, like I said, before any preset or sound and generate ideas on the spot, which is really unique. I've only ever seen this in something like Ableton Live with some of the Max for Live devices, where you can change things like gravity and play around with generative ideas on the spot. But that's what caught my interest with UVI, and now it's cool to be down a few months later and they have this bundle going on with Native Instruments. So like I said, until January 22nd, you can get, I think it's 11 different instruments and a couple different effects from UVI, all for the price of $199. So you get Augmented Orchestra, Emulation II FM Suite, IRCAM Prepared Piano 2, Meteor, this harp instrument, Quadra, Shade, Synth Anthology 4, Whoosh, and 8-bit synth. So a good bundle of plugins, and from what I've noticed on UVI's website for being a customer just for a few months now, is that even during like Black Friday and their holiday sales, I've never seen a bundle of plugins of theirs drop to $199, at least not for multiple of their instruments. And you can see that 8-bit synth is $99, Synth Anthology 4 is $149, Augmented Orchestra is $299, Quadra is $149, Emulation II is also $149. So you can see that these are altogether going to be a lot more if you bought them separately or even during sales time. So this bundle, if you're interested in this stuff, is a good time to get it. Okay, so let's jump into Logic now and just explore some of these sounds that come in the bundle. Okay, so I'm in Logic now and I have Synth Anthology 4 pulled up with the Evolution Keys preset. And one thing to really note right off the bat with this bundle as well is that it's now NKS compatible. So all the instruments that you get inside of this bundle are now NKS compatible. So you can use them with any of your Complete Control keyboards and operate them directly within Complete Control, the software. So as you see, I already got 8-bit synth, Augmented Orchestra, Emulation II Quadra, and Synth Anthology 4 already inside of my Complete Control instance. And I can take advantage of Complete Control's auto mapping with the different parameters that are already pre-mapped to the different instruments from UVI and control them directly from my keyboard. Now, UVI hasn't said if they plan on adding more NKS compatible plugins, but it's really exciting to know that all the plugins that come in this bundle already have that NKS compatibility. All right, so let's go ahead and play some of these sounds. The sounds inside of Synth Anthology 4 are just so rich. So it's a collection of 200 hardware synthesizers, and unlike other software like Arturia's V collection, to me these sound way more analog and true to hardware because I think they're using multiple sampled layers instead of digitally recreating the analog sound. And it's cool that with each one of these presets, you get a readout of what the actual hardware synth was used to make the preset. So you can see in this one, I have Studio Electronics ATC from 1997 and one layer. And then on my B layer, I have a Korg M1 from 1988, creating this really rich, beautiful sound. Man, that just sounds so nice. Let's just go through and try some of these other presets. And the MW obviously at the end stands for mod wheel, which I was just messing with, and it really opened up that sound. Such a rich analog sound. Okay, this next one is called Metal Earth. Man, that bell-like sound sounds so rich. Man, I really don't think it gets better than that. Like, you just cannot get that deep and rich of a sound with Arturia. I mean, I like some of the sounds and presets in Arturia, but the real hardware sound is unmistakable with Synth Anthology 4. This next one is from an OPZ from Teenage Engineering, and yeah, I just like a lot of the bell sounds inside of Synth Anthology 4. As you can see, I favorited so many different bell types. They just sound so rich and nice. All right, this next one is called Guiding Light. Okay, this next preset is based on a Korg M1 and a Korg Wave Station, and it's called Phase Color. All right, next up is Fat Polysynth, and this is based on a Matrix 6. Okay, so Synth Anthology I could just go on and on with because it's probably my favorite part of the entire bundle. And yeah, something that like, man, just it sounds great. And there is just so many hardware synths within just this one plugin itself. Over 200 different pieces of synthesizers and hardware that you can mix and match. You don't have to stick to these presets that are within complete control. You can go through and you can combine any of these keyboards, and they got it really neatly laid out between classic analog, modern analog, analog modeling, FM informant, wavetable and digital, vector synthesis, additive, PCM synthesis, and samplers. You have so many options to go through and just kind of go in, explore, and add what you want to these different layers. And then you can enable the other layer, go in and change this to be whatever you want here, go into some analog modeling, keyboards, and I'm just going to pick something at random. Jupiter Clav. Let's see what this sounds like. You can flip through the different presets to try something else. And that accidental layering sounds fantastic by itself. That's a Melbourne instrument. Never heard of that. A Nina or Nina. And then the Access Virus C. But man, that sounds so good. Okay, let's move on to something else. Let's go into the Quadra, maybe. Muted and harmonics instrument. Digital uplift sounds kind of cool. Okay, so that's Quadra. That's just a little bit of a taste. Let's jump into, let's go to Augmented Orchestra. So this is like an orchestral instrument, but it's a hybrid orchestral instrument mixed with other sounds and synths and layers. It's a really useful cinematic instrument in my experience so far. It just sounds really good and it's very unique. Okay, this one is called Antarctite. That is such a nice pad sound. Sounds really good. I mean, all of these plugins I've tried so far sound fantastic. All right, let's jump into Emulation II Plus. Now, the cool thing about this is there's a bunch of analog style drum sounds, and you can use these tagging classifiers over here just to narrow it down to drums, and you can hear some of these kits that come with it. Such a great sounding 909, and because they're based on samples, it sounds so much more real. It is the real thing, almost. Oh yeah. So that's all the drums I favorited from Emulation II Plus, but it's not just drums. It is obviously a bunch of sampled synthesized sounds. So if I just get out of the drums tag here, we can hear some of these other sounds. Still digging into MU2+, but yeah, it's a cool one. And then 8-bit synth here is another fantastic one. These are all like a bunch of game retro sounds. Man, that sounds so analog. Absolutely superb. And then I'm just going to load one of these up so you can see what the interface looks like. So 8-bit synth is really cool. Sounds like the true game sounds. And if we load up another one of these here. This bundle is amazing. Like, I just can't say enough about it. I've only had it for a couple days, but it's gonna stay in my hard drive. I have this tendency of, like, after a while of figuring out what I do and don't like, deleting things off my hard drive and freeing up space, because space is precious with all these hundreds of plugins that are available today. I like to narrow it down to the things I really like most, and I have a feeling this bundle is here to stay on my hard drive. Anyways, guys, that's just a look at a few of the instruments that come with this bundle, but remember, it's 11 instruments and a couple different effects too. It's a multifaceted bundle, and I think it's really worth taking a look at while it's at this price of $199. So if you're interested and you want to take a look, I'll leave a link in the description. All right, guys, that's pretty much it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.